All right, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakadash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth and faith and in all sincerity. I'm the brother Shamala from the GMS Youth Camp. And this lesson is going to be entitled, The Mouth of a Righteous Man is a Well of Life. All right. And that's going into this truth. The words that we are speaking are life. But it says a well of life. Because the word was always referred to throughout the scriptures, in many places as water. And when we are teaching, when we are prophesying, when we doing lessons, the water is basically pouring out, gushing out as a well that will be shooting out water. That's why, real quick, I can actually start off with this. John 7:38. He that believeth on me, 37. In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahweh stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So having this truth in you, that's you having that water in you. And when you're teaching, it's like a well, producing that water, giving that water, and supplying the people with water, because the water is a very essential thing needed to survive. But this truth is more important. This truth is like the same, right? But more important because from this truth will come your salvation. So just like water sustains you, when you're dehydrated, when you're thirsty. I believe you can't even go 3 days of today's time, 3 days or so without water. More than three, somewhere around that range. All right. But it's like you can't go without that. All right. You need that to sustain you. You need this word as well. All right. Well, Yahweh should say, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth, the Most High. All right. This is what truly sustains us. So John 4:7 says, There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahweh said unto her, Give me drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the cities to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which I am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans, because when you go into the history, you have the natural born or the real Israelites that were living in the land of Samaria, right? The northern kingdom. They were taken out of that land by the Assyrians, and basically you have people that were implanted in that land, and basically pretending and portraying to be us and keeping our customs, even though you had still a sprinkle of us still amongst them, right? But there was a separation, there was a disdain for the Samaritans because we knew, what happened through the history. And also you had apostate Jews, right, that will basically flee to Samaria and live amongst them as well. Right? So the Samaritans was something, that would look down upon. Because even when you go into the scriptures, the Pharisees, the wicked ones, right? They tried to offend Yahushua. He said, Hey, you are Samaritan. They tried to call him a Samaritan. Right? But keep continuing on. It says, Yahushua answered said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and who had given thee living water. So, like, if you would have knew who was asking you about, getting something to drink, you would be asking me. All right? You would be asking me if you really knew who I was. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? All right, so he's showing you he's talking about something else. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? All right, she's saying our father Jacob, but she has nothing to do, right, with the Israelites. She has nothing to do uh, being from that line. And he even goes down further and tells her in this chapter that salvation of the Jews, you worship what you don't even know what you worship. Right? But it says, y'all shall answer to her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, right? The water of the well. Whosoever drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. All right, so this word is just gonna be in you, and you're gonna, the word does something to you, and it like the scriptures say, quickens you, makes you alive. It's like when you run in and you've been exercising, or it's a hot day, you ain't had no water, you just thinking about that water, right? As soon as you get it, you refresh. You're like, man, all right. It's just how it is with this word. And then after you get refreshed, you got a lot of energy to do a whole lot of other things. All right. And with this word being in you, it can't be contained. Like you gotta speak. You gotta say something. When you see some wickedness going on in the world, when you see some news, when you're paying attention, right? When the spirit is dealing, it's gonna pour out that wisdom. And it's gonna be as if water was gushing out and pouring out. All right. Let me see real quick if I can find that scripture. I believe it's in Sirach. If I can, it's all good. Sirach, I think it's like 21. Let me see. And 13. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood. Water Yahushua shot, man. I found it. And his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. You see, so it shall abound like a flood. You see, going into this truth. This is Proverbs 10 and 11. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covered the mouth of the wicked. So you see, the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life because he's giving you the words of salvation. What did James say in first chapter? What receive the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. All right, which is Yahweh Shah, because he is the word. He said, I am the way, the truth, right, and the life. He is the life. So you get all life through Yahweh Shah, right? Even John spoke about it. I believe it's even First John, that this life is in his son. Right? Continuing on, Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. You see? So the thirst and the hunger, the food and the water, all that's going into this word. Right? It says they shall be filled. Because the Lord's elect are going to get fed, right? Psalms 23 try to speak about that, them sheep being taken care of. They're going to get fed, right? If you are the sheep of the Lord, hey, he got you. The elect is going to get this word to be taken care of. All right. Proverbs 10 and 21, the lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom, right? So the lips of the righteous feed many. How are we feeding? Right? Through this knowledge. This is how we are feeding. You see Jeremiah 3, right? Jeremiah 3 and 15, I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Now, the pastors were the ones who looked after the sheep, right? The shepherds. It says, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So this is how you being fed, right? Going back to Proverbs 21, the lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. So the fool's going to die, just like you will die from not eating this spiritual food that is good for you unto your salvation, from you not having and being from you not having it and not being nourished by this, and it's basically directing you in the ways of understanding and walking in the spirit, this and that. You're gonna end up dying. You're gonna be destroyed at the end of the day. Just like if you wasn't eating regular food or water, right? It's eventually gonna kill you. So hey, that's the lesson. Hey, with that, hey, I'm gonna say shalom.